never be you.
Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I'm your host, Conrad Cushman, being joined tonight by my brother from another mother, my guy, Jesse from the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Jesse, how are you?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for having me on the show, man. Good to come back and talk some AEW. It's a rare occasion that I'll get to come on here and talk AEW with you.
Yeah, you know, I needle you sometimes in your chat. You guys can check Jesse out. He goes live on Tuesdays. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I would even recommend the Twitch channel. You guys got a lot of cool stuff going on over there right now. Put him down. Put him down on it. Plug it up.
Yeah, I mean, we're look on the Twitch channel. We're just kind of having fun and doing like a universe stream. It's a game stream, but it contains everybody's creations, and we just kind of let AI do its thing and book the show. But we're also having fun with it over there and cracking jokes. It's a whole bit. But Tuesdays, you know, we're running up the live stream, doing the podcasting thing, and still covering the 2K games when there's things to cover for the most part.
Make sure you guys are over there, though. Jesse does some really cool giveaways, works with 2K a lot, so make sure you guys are there. And if you're already there, tell a friend, you know, pass it along. We're going to talk some AEW tonight. I don't know how deep into this card we're going to get. Lots of things to get into. I'm going to keep it a stack with you, man. I said this last week with BJ. I'm going to say it again. Tony Khan, do not ever, and I mean ever, try to do these 4-hour shows again. I know that it's tough, and I know he came out there last night. I don't know if you saw afterwards when he came out and talked about maybe bringing a pay-per-view to Portland and all that. I was like, that's cool, that's nice. But
no, I did not see that. What? That was after the show, or?
Yeah, after the show. You know, when he comes out, starts yelling like, thank you. Yeah. I might bring a paper. Next time we'll do 4 hours. Maybe it'll be a pay-per-view. And, you know, got everyone hyped up for it. So I was like, okay.
Nice.
Cool, Tony. But here's my issue, Tony. I don't believe he said that he had a choice to do it. Tony Khan ain't making his people work, and those people ain't working if they get a choice to get nights off and we're still going to get paid the same money. You would take it. I think WBD was like, no, we want our 4 hours of content, but we can't do this. We can't do that. Would you mind going live at like 2 p.m. Nope, we're not doing that. We'll just do 4 straight. And they did what it looks like was pretty good numbers. I usually don't talk about them. Not going to get into them even really, but it looks like it was a success for the 2 weeks that they had it. But I thought it was a marathon and I didn't like it, Jesse. What did you think of the 4 hours?
Well, I was talking to you during the event, so I was like 4 hours is a long time during the week for me. Fortunately, though, the show was good. It was enjoyable. Like, there was nothing wrong with the show in general for me last night. It's just like I kept texting you like, damn, man, this is long, brother. We still got 2 hours left of this. I'm trying to go and get in the hot tub, barbecue some burgers, do something else other than sit on the couch, you know what I mean? But it was good, though. I mean, it was entertaining for what it was. And to see the Moda Center, so I was so confused. I was actually going to attend this show, but I just didn't end up taking the time off work because I have a different vacation planned later in a few months. But yeah, every time it comes to Portland, I have to at least take 2 days off because I got to drive 3 hours to get there, get a hotel, the whole 9 yards. But when I was reading about the tickets, it said, what was it, Theater at the Clouds or whatever it was called that they were doing.
It's something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I believe that's what it was called.
It's the Moda Center. So what it is, like, I was so confused by that. I was like, where the hell is the Theater of the Clouds? I've never been to this venue. And it's like, it's at the Moda Center. I was like, no, it's not. Like, I've been to the Moda Center 100 times. What is this? So basically what it is they just cut the Moda Center basically into a quarter of the arena. And then they call it the Theater of the Clouds. It's kind of weird, but I had to research all.
Is that like a Moda Center rule? Like that's what it's called? Like if there was a concert even and they do that?
I just found out about this, brother. I was trying to find this venue. I was like, where is this venue? Like, because it looked like the seating looked pretty cool. And I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, but where is the venue? You know? And I just looked it up. Oh, it's the Moda Center. They just cut it into a quarter of the arena, basically. And that's what it is. It's for smaller concerts, smaller shows in general. And I think that's how AEW ran it. But man, the one AEW pay-per-view, AEW Dynamite that I miss coming to the Pacific Northwest, it happens to be a banger. Like all the other shows, that I've been to, I'm like, man, dude, why do we get all the crap shows? You know what I mean? That are just like kind of mediocre. This show went hard from start to finish.
It had everybody that you would have probably at least been interested in, or they were putting good matches. You were like, what is this? But
That
I,
first
I
opening
told you for
match,
a
dude,
while.
would have been worth the money for me.
I feel like they've been on a real good roll since the Continental Classic. Like once they started doing those matches, and I think like Darby and Osprey was the first one. I was like, "Are we back?" You know, but you didn't want to say that because you said that a few times before, and it was
Right.
like Wrestle Dream was Full Gear was and people were like mad and upset about the booking. But I think that's we're trying to find ourselves. We're trying to figure out what's the next move to go forward. So yeah, definitely interesting to see it because I know you've kind of waned away from the product a little bit, but you kind of waned away from a lot of wrestling. But I'm curious to
Wrestling
get
in
your
general.
thoughts on this.
Yeah. Wrestling in general, man. Like nothing has been interesting me as of late. Like everything has just been so, like, do I need? I'm a busy guy, Conrad. You're a busy guy. I've explained this to you like 100 times. Listen, if it's not good, why am I going to waste the 2 hours, 6 hours, whatever else you're putting on throughout the week to watch wrestling? I'll just catch your pay-per-views, man, because I know the pay-per-views. I've never missed an AEW pay-per-view. And so I know that the AEW pay-per-views are going to deliver every single time. But if the TV's not interesting, then I'm just, why waste the time watching it? They're going to give me a video package. I'm going to catch up on the whole month worth of wrestling once I see the pay-per-view anyway. But yeah, I mean, lately though, the last couple of weeks, even for WWE for me, like Monday Night Raw, I felt was pretty good that I watched it. And I don't know about SmackDown. I don't ever watch SmackDown, but I've heard it's been buns.
Don't do it, bro.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It's on a Friday. I wouldn't be able to catch it anyway, man. I'm so busy on Fridays. But AEW I thought it was really good considering, the last time I watched AEW television, I turned the channel. This time I watched 4 hours of AEW television. So
Much appreciated, man. And thank you to everyone who is joining us. We do read live viewers' comments in here. So if you guys want to join, subscribe to Everything Pro Wrestling on the YouTube channel if you're listening on the audio side. And if you're on the YouTube side, subscribe to our podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're there. So let's give some shout outs real quick to people in the building. We got Clown in the house saying, afternoon, everyone. What's good, Clown? Appreciate you. Matt Lopez says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a good Thursday and hope you enjoyed Summer Blockbuster. I know we were going back and forth a little bit, Matt, during the show as well. Doug said, fell asleep during the 4th hour. Doug, can't hang, bro. Can't hang, man. You got to stay in there, man. It's like a fight.
it's a long time, though.
It is. Rob, what's good? Rob showed up with like one match left just to say what's up to me for like 15 minutes and then bounced. Like, yo, what's good? Just got off work. I'm out. XG Dub, what's good? Gabe, what's good, man? Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you. Jesse, your boy MJB in the place to be.
What is good?
Says, yo, bro, what's good? 4 hours is too much. If it started at 7, it wouldn't be that bad. I agree. That would be a much better idea if you're going to do that again. Carl Winslow's in the house, apparently. What's good, Carl? Appreciate you. Hope must have saw Sean singing your song, man. Appreciate you. MJB says 4 hours can be grueling, especially if the show is below 4 stars. I mean, I don't know. That's up to you. I'm not going to Meltzer this show too much. Let's see here. 4 hours is less than their pay-per-views when you add it in the commercials. Yeah.
Yeah, but so like I guess I could have, maybe I didn't say this when I was talking about it, but 4 hours on a work week. You know what I mean? Let me add it that way. Like, so the pay-per-views, it's a weekend, we're all chilling, right? Like for the most part, like most people have the weekends off, and it's a good time all around. But for the work week, dude, it's brutal. 4 hours is brutal.
Yeah, it's bad. And I kind of agree here too with what Matt's saying. WBD, have you noticed the movement of Collision? Collision's been in different spots a lot lately when they can move it around. I think they're testing when the NBA is gone. Collision can go to, I don't know what's the best though. I told you this a long time ago, Jesse. Dynamite screws things up because if it was a Tuesday, it would be better because that's what Tony originally wanted. They're like, now you get Wednesday. So now you're in the middle of the week. If you do Monday, you know what's going to happen. But if you do Thursday, that's too soon after Dynamite. Like you didn't give yourself a chance to breathe. Friday sucks. Nobody wants Fridays. Saturday's kind of, it's a rough night because we're older. I'm going out on Saturday. Like I have plans sometimes. I don't feel like watching wrestling if I don't have to, if it's not a pay-per-view.
It's not a pay-per-view, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you want a show on Sundays? I wouldn't do that either. There's really no good night for them. I guess they're just trying to see where will they get the most residuals from.
It's rough. I'm so conditioned now for AEW to be on Wednesday. So like Dynamite is just, I don't know. It's in a good spot for me. But yeah, you're right. When it comes to Collision, I'd say throw it on Thursdays. Personally, I mean, you got the choice between TNA and AEW.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I say go for the Thursdays. That's probably the best bet, truthfully. Quill says, "What's going on, Conrad? Your boy Sir Quills is here to enjoy your latest dope AEW review for Summer Blockbuster." Jesse, what's going on, bro? Good to see you again, brother.
Good to see you, Sir Quills.
Appreciate you, man. Gabe said, "Saw a kid at work wearing a John Cena shirt. Asked him how he felt about heel Cena, and he mean mugged me. I would mean mug you too if I saw those matches. Jeez, Louise. It's been rough lately with Big Match John. Jesse's in the house. Yo, my man Malik, what's good, man? Narcolepsy Boy 94, man. Definitely popular in these TikTok and Instagram and YouTube streets, man. Shout out to the crew from the No Name Wrestling Podcast. Don't say I never did nothing for you, Malik. Deanna said,
I actually see some of his TikToks pop up on my algorithm every now and then.
People send them to me, and I'm like, you guys know I know him, right? Like I talk to him, like on like Instagram, we have a chat, me, him, and a couple other people, and I'm like, yes, I know him. I see his videos all the time. Deanna said, if you're going to spend 3/4 of a show saying you sent someone to the hospital, don't show them backstage. Who did they show backstage?
Yeah, I might have missed that.
Yeah, me too. Maybe I missed it. Joe Compton, what's going on, EPW family? What's good, Joe? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Connor, EPW on a Thursday. What episode of the Twilight Zone are we in? Connor, brother, when they do 4-hour shows, my people told me, nah, you can rest on Wednesdays, brother. We're going to bed. So that's what I decided to do.
What time was it when that show got over for you on the East Coast? It was like
12.
Midnight? Yeah, I was
a little. It was after midnight. He went over 5 minutes. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? End this show.
Bro, the last part of the show, I was, the wife's like, can we just go get in the hot tub? But right now I was like, all right, cool. I switched it to my phone and I have like a little setup spot right there, like outside of the hot tub. I just played the last of Collision on there.
Yeah, it was a rap Rizzy. Kenny Omega, I did not notice him. So good eye on you if you did. Byron Cutler, how did y'all meet? What is this? This sounds like a first date question or something. How did y'all meet?
Me and Conrad?
Yeah.
Oh shit,
I guess
years ago.
Yeah, years ago. I think we had a mutual friend who B-Dub told me to link up with Jesse, I think, or he told Jesse to link up with me, and then we just started doing podcasts, and then we were like, well, we do this all the time, so we're off and running, you know?
Yeah.
Our guy B-Dub's busy.
That sounds about right. And that was what, back in 2020, I would say.
Right? Malik, what did he say? Remember, I said we should do collab of podcast shows. If you're down, let me know. I will, bro. Malik records on Sundays, though, so that's usually really tough for me. But if I'm ever free and available, I will let you know, my guy. It's probably on rare occasion. Because I'd love to do that AEW when you talked about doing this week. MJB says, I'm a diehard fan, sort of, but then you have other fans who probably have very little to no standards. We need Roman Reigns back, Byron.
You mean WWE fans?
Yeah.
Boys out here popping for everything.
Yeah. It beats like that, man. I don't know what to tell people. It's what it is, man. Yeah. Let's run down some things here, man. I do know that we got some events coming up. I'm going to jump right into this summer blockbuster thing, man. The homie Tony Khan and them put together Summer Blockbuster Wednesday, June 11th. When I first saw it, I was like, I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure what this is going to be. Things were very different when they first announced this. I was like, what are we going to get from this? What is this show going to be about? All right, let's check it out. And Tony Khan put together a pretty good card for the most part. So the shows are structured to where he tries to like front load Dynamite, and then on the back end, he's making matches during the show for kind of Collision. For the most part, you may know like 1 or 2 matches, but then he's making them during the show to try to keep you interested, keep you hanging around. It's what it is, man. And also, I wanted to pay some respects. I know someone mentioned Sly Stone. When you said Sly Stone, I swear to you, bro, my brain went to Sylvester Stallone. Every time, like when someone says Sly, I'm like, Sylvester Stallone, what happened to him? And that's what my brain went to. Not funk legend Sly Stone. So RIP to him. And Ananda Lewis, man, from MTV, VJ, man. Loved her, man. Always. I thought she was always a beautiful young lady. RIP, man. Found out we had lost her yesterday as well. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, Jesse, if you were an MTV guy. Just like in the 90s.
Yeah, I'd have to see a picture of her. Not by name, I don't know her, but
yeah. As soon as
you guy for sure.
You'll know as soon as she pops up, you'll know her. Like you'll see her. You'll remember like Kurt Loder and all those guys back in the day, like the news and all that. Yeah,
I know
she did all that stuff.
All right,
good times, man. Good times. So, R.I.P. Man.
How old was she? Couldn't have been that old.
Say she had to be 40s or 50s, like early 50s or 40s. She was young, man.
R.I.P. Man.
Because when I had to be like 13, she had to be in her 20s. Okay. You know, when I was a kid, 99, whatever age you were.
Yeah.
Sucks, man. So we opened up the show for Dynamite, man. Hangman Page is walking around backstage. You can see the Death Riders are in the streets following him. Kind of an omen as to like what was going on tonight. Like, oh, they're stalking their prey. They're gonna finally catch him. More on that momentarily. And then Tony Khan was like, "Oh, she was 52. Thank you. I bet Die Hard Wrestling fan. LOL. I hear you, bro. I hear you. We opened up with a straight banger. They were like, Will Ospreay swerve? Why not? Let's do it now. What'd you think of this match, Jesse? I'll just come straight to you for it. Like, what is it?
Well, it was an absolute banger for one, but I was shocked that they put it on at the beginning, but at the same time, like as the show progressed, because it was 4 hours, it just made so much sense to me. I'm like, all right, yeah, people are probably going to tune out the further this show goes. So for retention purposes, let's put on the best match that we have tonight right at the opener. And yeah, man, absolutely delivered. I'm a huge fan. Look, I'm a Swerve guy, right? He's from my home out here, so Swerve's my people. He was awesome, dude, and Ospreay obviously never disappoints. So
yeah, I love them. Fantastic work, fantastic match. Like in the early going, Ospreay's busted nose. I was like, oh man, they're going. I said they're
right at the start of the match.
All I saw was this, and then when he did this, and I saw the blood on, I was like, "Oh, it's over, bro. He's definitely about to beef back." I
want to circle back to that opening segment that they had with Adam Hangman Page. Did you notice that they had the camera on Moxley pretty much the whole time, and I didn't notice that he was even back there. For the most part, it was showing somebody back there, but you didn't know it was Moxley.
Yeah, Moxley's been doing that. He's been getting weird camera angles. So like when they hit his entrance now and he's coming out to wrestle a match, he didn't wrestle on this card, I don't believe. But when he wrestles, like so they do weird things. Like they'll show them coming into the building. Moxley will like throw water and he won't say anything for a while. He'll act like the camera's not there. Then he like looks at it like super weird. And then all of a sudden it's like, what? And he's like, time to rip people's heads off, baby. And then he'll like throw his water. Then he gets in front of the crowd and they're booing him. And he's like, don't touch me. But Moxley has this weird presence to him now. As much as people are like, yo, this dude sucks, I don't want him as champion. It's like working too, though.
Dude, listen, I don't subscribe to that. I know that a lot of people are like, yo, get him out of here. Moxley to me still is the most, I don't know. There's something about Moxley that just resonates badassery, bro. Like this dude looks and feels like the most badass pro wrestler in the game today. And so when people say that, this Moxley reign sucks, maybe the storyline could be a lot better. Like we thought it was going one direction. It didn't go that way, but Moxley being that guy, truthfully, he's always been that guy for AEW, but him being that guy right now, makes sense going into All In because I don't see him coming out of All In with the title. I don't know how you feel if they carry it on till Wrestle Dream, bro. Then I don't know, but to me, Moxley is just that guy, man. So I enjoy watching Mox more than the average fan, but so it doesn't bother me.
I'm going to ask you a question. I know we're going to get back to Ospreay and Swerve, I promise you guys. But while we're on Moxley for a second here, why do you think Jon Moxley has a harder time than John Cena? Like John Cena's matches are full of shenanigans too. Is it because he's John Cena that it's like, oh, that gets a pass? But I'm like, it's the same thing with Moxley. Like, so then why do you hate John Moxley? Is it the shenanigans, or is it you
it's
don't like
because
him?
it's two different fan bases, and one fan base will pop for a lizard puppet, and the other fan base will enjoy pro wrestling.
Well, time out. And we'll pop for a guy who puts his hands in his pockets. Like, I'm not.
Yes.
Listen, I like Mr. Iguana. I like him.
No, me too. But none of those fans knew who he was until Worlds Collide. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I mean? Nobody watched AAA. All right, people like me and you will watch AAA, and we'll go and check out other pro wrestling outside of the Fed. But it's that fan base it doesn't resonate with me as a wrestling fan anymore, and that could just be me being old. But I love WWE, so this is no shade on WWE. I love, like, they have the best roster in the world. All of my favorite wrestlers are over in WWE right now. But the fan base is annoying as shit. I'm just gonna go out and say it. Like, they pop at anything that goes on, man.
Delay Gratz with good. I see you. Malik says, "Yo, it's time for Mox to give up that title." I feel you, bro. I feel you. Mox does it on Mox timing and Mox ways. Yeah, Mox is straight badass. I think the storyline is the issue. I think people thought something different with it too, because at first you didn't know what it was, and then there were these grand, like I said, Shane McMahon. I'm like, wait a minute, nobody said that. And you have to remind people of that. Like,
I think that's what it is too. Is the fans book themselves into a situation to let themselves down at the end of the day, because if everybody thought that it was Shane McMahon, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But
Byron Cutler is over here slandering my guy James tonight. I got to stick up for James a little here. Since we're quiet without James, Jesse is the star of the pro wrestling show. He's the face.
Keep it coming.
He's the face.
I'll take all that Riz right now. I hope James is watching too.
So one of my he better be. I tagged him in this. One of my favorite spots in the match was the spot with the vertebraker, just because I haven't seen it in so long. It looks so crusher, bro. I love when Shane Helms used to do it in WCW. Even like, yeah, I was watching WCW in the bad times. The vertebraker, absolutely amazing, bro. And I love the finish of this match. Like, Swerve so beat up, he can't get to the top rope, and he sees Ospreay, and he's like just about to do it. He's like, I'm about to end you, bro. And then ding, 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 ding. You're like, oh, come on. The only inconsistency I hate sometimes is that they'll count down sometimes, and sometimes they don't. And I'm like, why do you do that? Maybe make it like, if it's for a title, we'll count down, and if it's not, we won't. I don't know. But I thought it was well done. And then we know afterwards, the Death Riders come out, surround the ring. You think they're going to do something, and lo and behold, like I've been saying, here come the Bucks for Swerve, and they handcuff him. And Brother Manch is eating super kicks, and then they put on his sneakers, the new Iversons, and they got the thumbtacks on him, and they're about to give him a super kick, and Ospreay dives in front and takes it. I was like, what are we doing here? And then they leave shocked, like, oh, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. But I thought it was a good setup, man. So tag match seems to be happening.
When we're done with the review, I want to ask you a question too. So remind me if I forget. But I want to ask you, maybe get into another little topic if you got time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Delay Grant says it can't go past All In because Swerve versus Hangman has to happen again. They have to settle. More on that in a little bit, Delay Grass. That's going to be really good topic for later on.
Hey, hold on a second, Delay Gratz. Do you think that we get it again at Wrestle Dream, where it started?
That could be the wave.
Yo, and I hope he takes it to Portland too. Tony Khan, if you're listening, please take it to Portland. I want to see blood in my pro wrestling, man. Do not take it to Washington State. Screw Washington State, brother. That athletics commission is killing us over here.
I have never heard someone say, do not go to my, well, actually, no, that's a lie. I do it too, because I'm going to All Out Toronto instead. I'm like, yeah, no, I'll go to Toronto, bro, for a great show. Like, I already know, Buffalo, you got to do your thing, man. Clown said AEW love that Danhausen. We could, I guess we could squeeze this in real quick here now. Danhausen, he's from your area too. Oftentimes you see him in there. I know he did some shows at Prestige and stuff like that. Rumor has it his contract is expiring in the next month.
I've met that Danhausen, and yeah. I like Danhausen as a character, but I think that he was the most useless he was the most useless pickup that AEW got. What have they done with this guy? He's done a few segments in the past few years for AEW because he's been injured the entire time. So
yeah, I mean,
I'm not hurt by
he's
it.
there. I think he might be collateral damage too because of all the stuff with Mr. Pepsi. I'm not even gonna get into that.
Oh
But
yeah. I forgot that they were like good friends, huh?
but I wonder if he's a pickup for somewhere else. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what his value is to
Danhausen versus Mr. Iguana.
someone's gonna pick him up. That could be a match. I'm telling you, people will pay for it. They'll probably go crazy. Let's see here. Masses WWE fan base strictly watching in their bubble, only if someone else. Yeah.
See, that's my, and it's not that I hate WWE, but it's that kind of thing right there to where it's just such a closed mindset when it comes to pro wrestling that it's acceptable over here but not acceptable over here. What you were talking about with Orange Cassidy earlier and Mr. Iguana, right? Like it's the exact same thing, the same wrestling style, the same goofy shenanigans. You're gonna get it on this show, and it's a problem. But if you get it over here at WWE, we're popping for it. It's the new sensation, right? So,
Yeah. What up, Miracle? What
Close
up, E? I know people will be like, yeah, Conrad's more pro AEW. I say things though, because I want you guys to be smart and point out the hypocrisy. I just want you to think about it sometimes. Oh, it's bad if you do this on this side, but it's okay over here. No, that's BS, bro. Like, keep the same energy. Good wrestling is good wrestling. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's an opinion. But when you start doing oh, I love this, but not this, and all those popular Twitter accounts, bro, you're getting caught in 4K, bro. Like, people are screenshot this like receipts, baby. Like, the first thing I thought of when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I know some people who've been talking crazy. You better not say something good.
Yo,
you know? Look at the Lucha Bros. I've seen big accounts and they're like, oh, that Money in the Bank, that what was it? The Mexican Destroyer on the ladder, that was good, but it was because of selling. And I was like, BS, dog, BS.
Oh, brother. I tweeted that out the other day as soon as Worlds Collide was on. Don't get me wrong. I love the show. I thought Worlds Collide was a fantastic show. And as a matter of fact, WWE had a fantastic weekend because I thought that this was probably the best Money in the Bank that I'd seen in years because I usually don't like that pay-per-view, but Money in the Bank this year was a lot of fun to watch. But when Worlds Collide was on, I tweeted out, isn't this that flippy shit that y'all said you didn't like? I'm just checking to see if this is still an accurate tweet. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it blew up because it's the hypocrisy, like you said, man. It's crazy how people think.
Yeah. Shout out to Universal. I don't know if this is Universal Studios, but we are open for film ideas. So yeah, send them our way. Welcome, Universal. Appreciate you, man.
Me too.
Yeah. I said both of us. We're in. Sean too. I'll speak for Sean.
Hit that Nightbot. Cue Nightbot right now.
Hit it up. We get a hype package for the winner take all match here for Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada. I thought that this was so cool, so well done. A lot of people are really looking forward to this matchup, man. It's going to mean so much. It's going to happen.
Banger.
AEW All In Texas, bro. If you don't know the history, we'll run down it in a moment here. But then we get like Okada backstage, and they're talking about the contract signing. Here comes Don Callis. I was like, what the heck's going on here? It should be one of my guys. It should be Fletcher. It should be Konosuke. Why isn't it? And they did this on purpose. So listen, Jesse, I got to get in my nerd bag here for a second. Me and Jesse will eventually butt heads on something probably on this. The Don Callis, did you notice why they did he grabbed the wrist when he did it? What is Okada's thing in New Japan? Wrist control.
Oh, okay.
See, this is deeper than people think.
Hold on. You also know that I'm not like fluent in New Japan wrestling. I'm just.
But I know you've seen the matches that I'm going to reference it to, where Okada holds the wrist, and people are like, "Well, what does that mean?" He's still in control of the match, even though both people are down. Correct. It's showing he knows where his guy is. They tell stories within the ring. So him grabbing his wrist was like, yo, you need to know. He calls Don Callis a bitch, and then they leave from there. I'm not going to get super deep into this. And then we cut backstage. So AEW also does this. Some people hate it. Some people love it. They flow into, we're backstage. Here we are now. This happened earlier in the day, and it was the Hurt Syndicate, and they put a beat down on Commander. They took his mask, pre-tale of things to come. After they put a beat down on him, and Mascara Dorada will be taking his place in the trios match. It's announced. Anything if you want to touch on it, let me know, brother.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about that spot with Kenny Omega and how ridiculous it looked.
Oh wait, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
You're talking. Okay, so we had
That was the little part.
Okay, all right. I'll let you get into it then.
I'll jump into it. I promise. I promise. Mystico. This is what I was
guy.
talking my ish about last week. Mystico is a top draw in pro wrestling. I know everyone's going to come in here and tell me, what about Kenny Omega? What about Roman Reigns? These guys are top draws too. But Mystico's name is in there too. But you don't know that if you don't watch Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
If you're not on the West Coast or in the South, like you may not know this. Mystico is that boy, like when it comes to drawing.
I remember talking about Mystico before anybody knew about him in my area, right? Even some wrestling fans, you know, on the East Coast that I'd played video games with, right? Yo, Mystico's coming. They're bringing him to WWE. Like, who's that? I'd have to school him because we had YouTube back then, so I'd have to school him on some pre-tape of Mystico. You know what I mean? Like, dude, check this guy out. He's like that next Rey Mysterio was supposed to be, right? Like he could have been until they had issues in the WWE locker room, but that's another story. Either way, I was really excited for Mystico to go to WWE. So the fact that he's still on a mainstream platform in the United States is huge to me.
Delayed grass don't make me laugh, brother. Don't laugh. I mean, unified. Don't get me started on those accounts calling Mariah May, Timu, Tiffany Stratton. Yeah, that I remember that too. Also hypocritical.
They're not calling her that now.
Yeah, now it's Blake Monroe.
No, I mean those accounts aren't calling her Timu, Tiffany Stratton now. Those same accounts that were calling her, they're praising Blake Monroe.
Also, be careful if you search the name Blake Monroe. Don't do it at school if you're young. Just letting you know. It's not the same Blake Monroe who starred in Beef Eaters 2. Very different people. Just want to let people know that. The merger of those two, we'll get into it, Universal. I think it makes perfect sense. It all trickles down to AEW book the Hammerstein after GCW. Yeah. Same stuff, man. Love Kenny Omega, Sin Cara, seen it, done it, man. Sin Hunico for life, man. If I top 5 people like I'm picking to help in fight in pro wrestling, Haku's up there. I think Sin Hunico might be in my top 5 though. Like he's undefeated in fights, bro. Undefeated backstage fights.
I'm a little disappointed. I Googled Blake Monroe and all that came up was Mariah May.
Oh no, they're gonna dominate the SEO now for it. But yeah. when you first looked up the name, I was like, who was it? Beef Eaters 2? I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Love the internet.
Yeah, wild, bro. Wild. But like I said, give it 1 or 2 more weeks, and I'm pretty sure that'll be gone and erased from the top search engines. Mystico is back, though. He's taking on Blake Christian. This was a match just to make people familiar with Mystico, man.
Dude, what a sick thumb right here. This thumbnail is so nice.
Yeah, dude, you know they had to put on for him. They're like, top draw, make sure it looks good, baby. In this match, man, I want to give praise to Blake Christian for a second because he probably doesn't get enough of this. I know he wears that I'm Vanilla Baby and everyone's like, ugh. But the dude is so good in these enhancement matches. I hope they find something for him to do, and that may lead into something a little bit later. But Mystico wins with the Spanish fly off the top rope, man. I wasn't mad. MJF comes out. He's going to threaten to – he says he's dusting off the red, white, and blue next week, and he's going to be the American MJF, the one who was the American champion, and he's coming to Mexico. Listen, this brother's going to get heat, bro. Heat.
He even called him Sin Cara from WWE. I thought that
it is not. It's not. That, to people like me, I was like, that's ridiculous because it's not. But he was getting heat. He's smart. He knows. Yeah. Foolishness.
No, I just thought that I just thought it was weird that he said the name because that's. I thought it was still copywritten because that's a WWE character. It's one of their cartoon characters that they came up with.
It might be expired or he just doesn't care. One of the two. Vanilla Baby deserves more. I will agree. Blake Christian is very good. Looks like they are pushing him into the ROH World Title picture after tonight's ROH episode. Good for him. He deserves it. He deserves it. MJF threatens to rip off Mystico's mask. That's a big no-no in the culture of lucha libre and Mexican wrestling. We know this because every time we see one of these matches, we've seen it with Penta, Phoenix, anybody that snatch the mask off of them and roll them up. So
they need to put that in a video game, dude. I'm
It
sick and
has
tired of
been.
No, I know, but yeah, but we're not going to talk about all
You
the
know,
stuff in the
you know
past.
which one of my boys had it.
Yeah.
They do. Just saying.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, like, come on,
Hashtag more
man.
wrestling games.
Yeah, bring some of this classic features back, dude.
100%, man. Hopefully that's something we could get, man. I would love to see another AEW wrestling game. Hopefully they get another shot at it soon.
I keep tweeting him.
Yeah, yeah,
He
I
still
will.
has not responded.
Yeah, Tony Khan,
Yeah.
answer my calls, damn it.
Yeah.
Answer me.
Pick up the damn phone, Tony.
So we said Hurt Syndicate was out there, right? Guess what's up next? Hurt Syndicate match. They're going to be taking on Speedball Mike Bailey, no longer commander. Mascara Dorada joins, and Kevin Knight is out there. I had a lot of fun with this one. Not going to lie, bro. So some of my favorite spots in this weren't even the moves. MVP on commentary at one point. I don't know if you heard this, Jesse, but the crowd was chanting something. And the babyface was like getting fired up for me. He was like, "Hey, shut y'all asses up, man." Like he's on commentary, like, "You're messing me up, bro." Speedball was great. Those kicks to Lashley look good. I like Speedball a lot. Some people aren't fans. I like Speedball. I've liked him since his TNA days. MVP gets up, gives him a cane shot. That's why he's been wearing them sneakers. He's got to move a little quicker, drops him with the cane, and MJF goes to work, man. Wins with a cradle DDT, which was different, and pins Speedball Mike Bailey. What do you think of the Hurt Syndicate, man, since they've come in? I know you're not the biggest Lashley fan, but
not a fan.
Shelton, none of them?
Not. I'm just not, man. Like, I've never been a fan of Lashley. I've tried to get into him. I just can't. I like MVP, and I like Shelton Benjamin. I'm just tired of the Hurt Syndicate as a thing. Like, I didn't like them when they were the Hurt Business. I didn't care about the Hurt Business. I wanted like a Nation of Domination type group to come back, man. Like, that's what I wanted, to be honest. Like, but the Hurt Syndicate and the Hurt Business and MJF being with the Hurt Syndicate, I'm not a fan of either.
Oh, Matt, excellent point. Thank you for that reminder. MJF wearing the MVP singlet.
That was hilarious.
Best tweet. I don't know if it was Drain or whoever made it, but somebody made one and they said straight out of SVR 07, the ball and elbow drop, because of how he did it. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, yep. I forgot. Was Zack Ryder the one who did it? Matt Cardona? Was he the one who did, like, I think he said that he was the one that did the mocap for it. It was like, oh.
So that was in 2K. The SVR games they had, they didn't have mocap.
I thought they did at some point. Like, I thought that they had to turn over that year where they lost all the moves. And then they put it in, and I remember it was so bad. WWE
12 or 13. So they were still in there, but I don't think it was the SVR games.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. No. Well, 10 was the first one where they were missing some of the moves, though.
You could be right, but I don't remember them doing mocap back then. But
all I know is that ball and elbow drop for a few years was bad. So they were like, "Yo, MVP, put the suit on, bro. We'll pay you, bro. Please just do that."
Dude, most of those mocap moves are still bad today.
Still in the game.
Yeah.
Shout out to our good friends over there who make it wrestling video games, man. Yeah,
I don't blame them for not getting rid of the assets, though, man. Like, they're trying to build up stuff, and the more time they take redoing moves, it's we're gonna have less and less. Like, just keep the crap in and focus on what you got to focus on, man. Like, I'll take the terrible looking rock.
I'm still team animate the moves, man. Animate those moves.
They ain't
I don't
got time
care
for that nowadays.
I know.
There's no way.
Hopefully one day they can figure out a way to like do it quicker. I don't know if there's a way to do that and save people from having to take bumps and eat all that.
When WWE decides, hey, let's stop doing a yearly release, that's when they'll be able to do it. Because with the graphics and the enhancements in gaming today, it's not like releasing an Aki game back in the day, right? Like it's not the same anymore.
Yeah, where they spent years on that before it would come out and finally get it.
It's just a whole different world. They would have to get more than 1 year to work on a game, unfortunately.
Let me see here. Let me see. Mocap moves, taunts, cutscenes arrived around SVR 06, he believes.
What?
Could be. Yeah, I think they had it before, Jesse. Like I remember them like switching over to it slowly but surely.
I'm about to text Brian right damn now.
Okay. Let me know. Let me know.
Tell him I said what up. Start mocapping.
Hangman Page comes out next, but he has got duct tape over his mouth and his arms are tied up. Like, what? Who told you to hit the music? So They hit his music, and he's getting beat down by the Death Riders. Moxley, I thought, cut a really good promo, though. Like, you better find whatever you're looking for in the next 4 weeks, or I'm going to destroy you. And he goes at it, and I love that they let Hangman, like, the one shot he could get, headbutts this dude right in the face, and they get stomped out by everybody. So good. Ops come out to make the save, Samoa Joe and the homies, and then he promises that he's taking someone out tonight, Hangman Page. And I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm interested. So I thought that was a good segment as well.
How do you feel about all the factions within AEW? I'm a fan of factions. So I just want to get your take on it. Like, there's a lot in AEW. It's more group based for sure.
I love it because it reminds me of New Japan, where they had like, okay, are you in Minoru Suzuki's group? Are you in Okada's group? Are you with the Bullet Club? And so I'm okay with that. And then sometimes people are like, I'm friends with this guy in this group, but he's still a heel, but we're cool and we can team up sometimes. And so it's a lot to follow. Like, how is Kyle O'Reilly in the conglomeration that he jumps over with Cole, and you go to the next thing? But I think it's not too bad to follow. If you're watching the weekly shows, it's not bad. But if it's someone new, they're probably like, what is going on? What is happening?
I personally like it because it reminds me of like how the Attitude Era was back in the day. Like, you'd seen so many factions during the Attitude Era. A lot of people don't remember that, but there were tons of factions back in like 97.
Yeah, DOA, Los Bariquas, the Ministry. You had everybody. Like
everybody.
Corporation.
Corporation. You
Union,
had
James's favorite.
Right to Censor, all them guys, man. Like, there were so many factions going on, and it was just Kai and Tai. Did we already say that? Kai and Tai?
Yeah, for sure. It was crazy back then, dude. Like I said, so many. NBA 2K can update dribbles. WWE can too. I love it. Hangman being tied up in duct tape remind me of those Where's Hangman sketches from BTE. You never know. I've heard rumors of BT may come back. We'll see. Conrad is reading my mind here. AEW's pattern after New Japan with all the factions. No friends equals your job guy. Yeah, no one likes you, bro. So you got to do it. Factions, if done well, works. Yeah. Love factions. You're in the Justice League, Checkmate, Task Force, X, the Terrifics, etc. Touche. Yeah. We're going to jump in. Last week, we heard a lot of complaints about there's not enough women's wrestling on the show. And they definitely added 3 matches this week. So I hope that was it. I just want to ask people sometimes, like, what's the amount of women's wrestling that you want to see on the show? I know, like, last week it wasn't enough, but to me, I was like, okay, but they're still building to things. They're still doing stuff. I just didn't know. I don't know. And I just feel like every week it's something else. Then I heard, what was the complaint this week? Oh, it wasn't on the front loaded of the show. It was on the back. And I was like, dude, it wasn't on the hour? Yes.
I was that banger tag match.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you.
That was at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, that's what we're right at. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus TJ.
Yeah, give me TJ all day, man. Listen, if it's AEW, they could put a whole card of them women on there, man. I think they kill it over there. They've always killed it over there.
Dude, I think that Evolution 2 show is going to go ham. I'm surprised it took this long to do it, bro. You can do those matches. I just want to ask people, like, when we're putting comparisons out there, like, what do you want? Like, I got to ask people that, like, what is it?
It's a different wrestling fan base nowadays, though. We've had these conversations private, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to go, like, there's some things there's some things that we can get into about the wrestling fans today, but we're not going to on the air. It is a different fan base, and they like different things. So, yes, if the fans are clamoring for more women on the shows, maybe make it happen, and then you can stop hearing the complaining.
Yeah, hopefully it happens, and I don't know. I just hope everyone gets satisfied eventually. Stop crying all the time about everything, y'all. Just let's enjoy some of this a little bit. I know you have a right to complain, and if you're making a good point, it's a good point. But some of this, I'm like, dude, come on. Yes, and I did see Dean Malenko gave the cruiserweight title to Otani that he is referencing. Otani, sad to see the state that he's in, man. That he's I believe he's paralyzed from the neck down. Dang. But he gave him the cruiserweight championship. He was the first cruiserweight champion, if you remember that tournament. I'll never understand kids today, bro. Can't go on a little mini rant. This is about music. Somebody sent me this video about Jim Jones being better than Nas, and I was like, dude, what happened to hip hop? Like, what happened to conversations we used to have? And this 22-year-old was like, I've never said put on that Nas. And I'm like, what are you saying, bro? These are two different like genres of hip hop.
Is that what you sent me the other day?
Yes, I was like, I'm losing my
Okay.
mind. It's been lately, and then what was the other young kid one that I seen? Jordan. Oh, Jordan did miss game winning shots and all that. Yes, everybody does, bro. That's not the point. The greatness is what we're showing you, though. Like, how many times did he hit game winners, though? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like when it comes to comparisons, like Nas and a Jordan, it's one of those situations to where you would have had to live that out. You would have had to have been there. You know what I mean? Like you're never gonna get the same or capture the same moments from a highlight ever.
It's like Sabu. I said that like people don't probably understand why Sabu was so cool to like our generation.
Yeah.
Because we were there and I'm like, no, this dude's cool, bro. Like, no one puts people through tables. This dude just gets a timekeeper's table. He's like, you're going through this, bro. Now you see it so much, you're like, oh, there's no Slim Jim on it. There's no this, that. Like, that's gonna happen one day to everybody. You're gonna be like,
and people are so numb to certain things, especially like if you started watching wrestling and you started watching wrestling for AEW, you would be completely numb to like a lot of the things that you used to see back in like ECW. And Sabu, he wasn't the cleanest looking moonsault ever. You know what I mean? Like this dude did some sloppy things, but it was,
and he did it on purpose.
Right.
They said. Someone just said they did a match with him and he laughed. Like he was like, I'm gonna mess this up. And he was like, but why? And they're like, you effed up. He's like, we got him. And he's like, I think it was Jerry Lynn. He was like, all right.
Once again, it's one of those you had to have been there moments, right? Like it's different. Like you watch a highlight of Sabu, it's gonna look like a highlight of botches, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of the times. So I don't know.
Yeah. Back to this tag match. TJ gets the win. Ty Conti hits the knee on Penelope Ford. After Megan Bain like locks in a sleeper, they barely escape. They get out of there though. Jesse, I've been advocating for this. I said once you unify some of these belts in AEW, I feel okay with them now doing women's tag team titles. I don't know if you feel good about this, but I'm okay with it because I think that will solve this. Like, oh, there's not enough women on the undercard because it's usually where's the Toni Storm match? Where's the Mercedes match? It's been like that for like the last year. So, okay, those two. But what about this person, this person, this person? If you have women's tag titles, that could alleviate that. Even if it's like, hey, let's put them on Ring of Honor this week. Cool. Do it.
It's a hit and miss for me, man. Like I was scarred with those WWE women's tag team titles. Still am. I can't stand those titles, but WWE does a poor job about keeping up with their women tag teams. So, and AEW has kind of done that with their women for quite some time now. Just paired some women up together, and once again, faction city. So there's tons of factions in AEW, and there's a way and a story to build around it. So it's a hit and miss for me. I don't know how I'd feel about it.
As long as they give it the proper attention, I think it'll be okay. But that's going to be another thing for people to complain about if you're not using it as well. So
at this point, don't make any more titles if you're going to put them right on Mercedes Moné. Like, just knock it off. You know what I mean?
Here comes the disagreements, folks.
Just knock it off. Like if you're making another title and it's going to eventually end up on Mercedes, just don't even bother.
Maybe once Pam gets there. Maybe if Pam gets there, we'll say that. Wait, WWE had women's tag team division titles since when? Terrible. I mean, now we're at the beautiful part of the show. We get a highlight video package, Jesse, of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and we see the matchups between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. Bro, when I say that this was fire, straight fire. People talk about, oh, where's the video package? Where's this? Where's that? Bro, you got a 6-minute video package highlighting everything that these two have done. If you did not understand the beauty behind Okada was that boy and Kenny Omega, top gaijin. Kenny Omega has done a lot of firsts. Like when you're like, who are some of the top gaijins ever to come over there? You're talking like Vader, Stan Hansen, probably even Hulk Hogan at one point in time. And Kenny Omega's right there, like breaking records. Kenny Omega's the first one to ever win the G1 that was not from like New Japan Pro Wrestling, or well, I shouldn't say New Japan, a gaijin. Like they first person outside of them to definitely do that. Kenny Omega learned the language, like he did everything that he needed to do to get that spot, man. And I loved it. I loved the matches with him and Okada. I don't know if you remember the first time seeing it.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Kawada and Misawa. Like, I don't know if you ever heard that. That 1994 match is legendary. Like I just saved it in my favorites.
I've seen that match. Yes. There's a lot of history between these two. So they were able to tell this in a beautiful way, and it felt big. Once again, pissed off I did not attend this show. This was not the one to skip. 10 out of 10 wouldn't recommend it again when AEW comes to Portland. Definitely going back to the next one. But this had all the people that I wanted to see from AEW on the show, and stellar matches, and then this segment. I mean, this segment got out of hand, and we're going to talk about it, but it was a very well put together video package for sure.
Absolutely. They put together the video package. Here they come. Out comes both gentlemen. So me and Jesse are messaging during this segment. I'm like, yo, is there another belt underneath that? And then Jesse's like, what? And then he's like, yep. That's a belt. I see it. It's a single belt. And they have their belts set up. It's all beautiful. Contract signing. They kind of talk their mess to each other like, I'm going to bring the very best, Okada. I know I need to against you, and you know you need to against me. And I hope that they can deliver. I'm setting my expectations low because I've been in the position of Nakamura, AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and I thought, like, yo, this is about to be it, bro. You guys don't know. And then I was like, womp, womp. And I was like,
that's WWE, though. I feel this is All In we're talking about, and All In don't miss. Like, they have not missed on an All In yet. So,
and I'm going to cuss real quick. Okada is on bullshit. I want you guys to know that. Okada goes out there and he goes like 50% in these like matches on Dynamite. They probably told him to do this. I think he's getting paid like $300K per match or something like that. When you break down his, yeah, like because he doesn't wrestle that much. So anytime he gets in the ring, I think it's like $300K, and he's out there doing his match. He's just like, yeah. But then you saw Continental Classic, Will Ospreay. He turned up. Speedball he started chopping him hard. He turned up. Kenny's going to get him to do this, and I think Kenny's going to bring the best version of himself for it. I need New Japan Kenny Omega.
I think it's going to happen. I'm setting my expectations high for this one. I know you're trying to stay low because they've had their other matches, and both men are a little older now and a little more beat up, but they both don't wrestle as hard as they used to, and I think that's by design. And smart. Because then you can put together a match like this and put it all on the line. You know what I mean? It's a very, very well put together. Let's talk about this belt, though, man. Like, listen, I was a fan.
I got it. I got it.
All right, there it is. I was a fan of both the Continental title and the International. So both of those titles looked really nice. This one looks very nice as well, and it reminds me of the heavyweight title a little bit. But man, we're getting rid of two like
dope belts.
Yeah. First of all, AEW doesn't miss when it comes to their belt design. So anybody, it's an egg-shaped title. Like, fuck out of here.
Miss me with that bullshit, bro.
Yeah. This is a good looking title, man. It's a really good looking title. Both of us were disappointed by the name, obviously, the Unified Championship.
I feel like that's got to be a placeholder because the best name I thought was the International. Like the International Suite, then, huh?
Well, we were hoping for the Intercontinental, but
then our hearts got broken last night when I sent the article. I was like, oh damn, they trademarked Intercontinental, and it made sense why New Japan stopped using it. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, because I didn't know that New Japan stopped using it because I hit you up. I was like, wait a minute, doesn't New Japan have an Intercontinental title? Their title was dope. So what happened to that? So. But definitely go back to I hope they go back to like the International name, because the International Championship that just has a ring to it, man. So better than the Unified.
Yeah, I don't know if Unified can stay that way. Here's another look at the design. I think this came from Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful.
It's dope, dude. I've seen people hating on this title, like, huh?
By the way, hold on, let me see if I can pull up the other belt one more time. Those side plates, dude, they have Kenny Omega and Okada's finishers being performed on them. Really? Someone said that this belt is going to signify like this is the second like world championship. Like this, not that it's not a world championship. This is for main event level talent. Like I need you. Like if the world champ's not here, it's you. Like you're the guy. So I don't know how you want to treat that. If that's like an IC, is this the workers belt? Whatever you want to say, but there's another championship for you. Maybe they're like, if we ever do a draft, here we go. That's the belt. Got to treat it like that though, because eventually the day's going to come where it's which belt. And you're gonna see how they really feel about it. But I love the look of the belt.
Yeah, me too, man. I was gonna say that too. The title definitely looks prestigious, and it looks like it means something. Not so happy with the name, but hopefully, like you said, it was just a placeholder. Even if it isn't, though, if as long as they have two of the very best in the world showcasing to win this title, so it's already off to a great start, right? Like it's not like a couple of mid card talent going after. No, you got Okada versus Omega going after this title. So whoever wins this match is definitely gonna make this championship mean something.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you this while we're at this. Favorite Continental Champion, favorite International Champion, just of title reigns. And there's only been 2 for Continental, so
Okada, obviously, for Continental. Yeah, I don't know. I love Okada so much. For International, it's hard, man. I want to give it to my boy Phoenix, just because he had that short little run, and I was really happy that he got a singles title. But I'd have to say Pac. Pac was one of my favorites. So
I loved Orange, man. Orange's like first run with it, that one where he just couldn't be stopped, but he was like dying every week. Then he finally got like beat by Mox. I was like, oh, that was so good.
Well, better Orange Cassidy definitely made the title mean something. I will say that, but
better than the mustard belt. Terrible.
What's
Tokyo.
The mustard belt?
The gold world title, the gold-plated WWE title. I don't mind that belt though.
Oh, you're talking about like the network logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always hated that title. I thought you was talking about that world title for some reason. I love that big gold variant that they have. I want to call it a variant because that's exactly what they based it off of. I don't know. I love that title, and if you hold like the
you're talking about the World Heavyweight Championship,
yeah, the World Heavy, the one that Jey Uso just lost. If you hold that like in person and get to like really look at that title is gorgeous, bro. Like I love that title.
I don't mind their title designs. I think that's one of the things they've improved on recently.
I just like that one. The rest of their title, well, the tag team titles too are really cool. But
let me see here. Miracle says, I know that I've been saying this for a while. Okada and Omega are saving their best match. Okada has been coasting this whole time, and it's on purpose. Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
He definitely goes half on purpose. Favorite international champion, Orange Cassidy. Big gold homage. Yes.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite title.
All right, let's get into what happens here, though. So Don Callis makes his way out, bro. And you think something's about to go down, and then Okada attacks Kenny. That first, it looks weak, right? Like, oh, come on, dude, hit him. But in New Japan, they don't do these angles like this usually. It's like backstage on concrete. And they're like, yeah, hit him. Then it gets worse and worse. But then when Don Callis pulled out the police baton, I was like, oh, come on, brother. Come on. Hits Kenny in the stomach because Kenny's got diverticulitis, if they haven't mentioned it 30 times since he's come back. So Kenny's guts are getting tore up. Play. So after that, Okada drops an elbow off the top rope on him, and they're trying to take him out on a stretcher, and he's just doing the Cactus Jack. Like he's jumping off, dropping elbows, and then he does it again. And Kenny goes down, bro. You know I got a picture for it.
Oh, my God, dude.
I had to make this myself. So he is coughing up jelly donut blood, bro. Some people thought this was so bad. I loved it. I thought that it was like, I can see someone like watch this who doesn't watch like a kid. They're like, oh my goodness, Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Like, if it's a kid watching, yeah. But when I seen it, I was like, good Lord, did they really do this shit? Like, what is this, dude? Like, I just thought it was too much. It was overkill. And the way that Kenny sold it too, I was like, oh, just ruined this entire segment for me, man.
I loved it. I laughed. I loved it. I thought it was great. I was like, yo, I'm into this. Perfect. At least they put some heat behind this.
It was just so over the top for me, bro. Like it reminded me of some like choppy PP stuff like back in the Attitude Era.
That's ridiculous.
It was that wacky though. Like that's what I meant by it. Like it was just so wacky, dude. It's too much.
Yo, he said pause. Nah, brother, play. He said amazing. Yeah, I enjoyed this. And you know what I loved about this too? Think on the other side, besides Kenny. Don Callis uniting with Okada is going to cause dissension with Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. Someone's getting kicked out this group. I don't know who, but someone's
getting.
So? Yeah, someone's definitely getting the boot. They're going to try and go out on their own or something. And what happened to the elite? So is this just a one-time thing or is this permanent? I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the relationship is. But Don Callis out here recruiting. You got Hechicero. He's got Okada joining him. What's going on? Omega versus Okada. Does it have a chance to main event All In? I'm going to you first, Jesse.
I don't know, man. I still damn.
You have three matches that could main event, in my opinion, and it's all the ones that have been announced. You could go with
Mercedes
the women's
Moné
match.
should not main event All In, but
that's hate, bro. Hate.
I'm just saying, dude. I've seen enough for a lifetime. For a lifetime, I'm good. Okada versus Omega is gonna be that match, but you can if the stakes are not high enough for this Hangman versus Moxley, you have to put this at the end. Is it going to be the better match? I don't think so. Like, I don't think nothing's going to top Okada and Omega, but I could be wrong.
I think you might feel different though. Like, let's just imagine Hangman's winning and he's opening up that briefcase, bro. You know how people should go nuts for that, bro. I've not seen that title in a year. Like, not all I've seen are like
almost, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, pull that championship out.
I was the last person to see it live.
You're the reason it got put in a briefcase, I think. This is terrible.
Probably.
People are saying they think Kyle will be the one to turn face. Delayed Grant says All In's card is sick. We only know 3 matches for sure. Yeah. And the Hurt Syndicate, that's the one storyline. I have no clue where they're going with this. Like, I keep watching. I'm like, where's the turn? What's the play here? Like, what's gonna happen?
I was hearing some people talking about possibly Ospreay and Swerve tagging at All In.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna face the Bucks. Like, that seems to be the next match.
That would be an amazing match, dude.
They're gonna go PWG. Like, I'm just telling you guys now.
That's gonna be. Can we? Okay, I'm not gonna wait till the end. Let's get into this. All right. Yo, dude, that would be amazing though. That would be amazing. The fans would go nuts. Dude, that would be amazing. And then they cannot wait until Wrestle Dream for Darby to come back. You have this on tap? Like, what is this?
I was gonna ask you about it, but it just happened there.
Is it just in your picture roll, your media roll right now?
Yeah, I just had a bunch of stuff I throw in there. I'm like, what's interesting for me and Jesse to get into? Because I know once we get to the second half of the show, we're going to be flying through this. So.
I want to ask you this question now. I was going to wait till the end, but there was a really deep conversation that I was seeing online, and it was an interesting thread to go through. Who do you think, like, put your hate aside for the Young Bucks, right? Put it aside.
I've been better. I've been good with them lately.
Me too. I forgive and forget. You know what I mean? It's still the Young Bucks. In my mind, I think the Young Bucks could be the greatest tag team of all time. Is that still on the table for you? Because I remember at one point you felt the same way.
I did, but I lean more towards FTR for like the style that I
of all time, though, dude. Like from everything.
Oh, you're talking about GOAT? Oh, that's
GOAT.
tough, dude. That's tough for.
I'm talking all time, like the best tag team that has ever graced professional wrestling.
If I like to segment it into eras, kind of, and that may sound like, oh, you can't do that, it's not fair. But like when we talk the 80s, I'm like, yo, it's Demolition, the Hart Foundation, the Road Warriors. You get to the Attitude Era, it's obviously the Hardys, the Dudleys. You can pick and choose some of your other teams.
Well,
right?
Back in the day, it was Road Warriors. Like they have the Road Warrior pop is synonymous. You hear it all the time, right? Like nobody popped for a tag team more than the Road Warriors, but. Yeah. I'm just talking about like in-ring work, not necessarily like how many tickets have been sold, how many, you know what I mean? Any of that stuff. Like just what you have seen the Young Bucks do in their career, right? Even today. Like when you see these boys in a tag match, it doesn't disappoint.
I think it's hard to, if we include the stuff with the backstage stuff, it annoys, like you said, you know how we feel about the Punk situation. I listen, I don't even want to get into the other stuff. I'm sure I'll yell about that maybe on Monday with Sean or something. About that. But when you think of the Bucks too, you got to think Matt Jackson took a phone call from Tony Khan and it changed professional wrestling. Like if you believe that's how it went down, I don't know. But if you believe that story, Matt told his brother like, hey, we should listen to this. And then his brother told I don't know, Kenny. Then he told Cody, "Hey, we could do something with this. Call your friends up. Let's do this."
Wasn't it Cody that said that he made the phone call? It was him that was on
I
the
don't-
phone call.
at this point, bro, I don't know who to believe. Cody said the Bullet Club was uncool, and I was like, "All right, I'm done with you. You're capping. I'm out of here, bro."
He
Like
didn't
he
say
started.
that, he said his version of the Bullet Club was uncool.
He's full of shit. He's full of shit.
But that's what he said. But he said
I know it's Cody.
I listened to it because I seen the discourse on that too. It was, you know, the Bullet Club, and listen, he was right. Like the Bullet Club was not selling when it was back with Balor and AJ. It was selling when Cody and all them got in.
No, he said it was selling with them, and then it stopped with him, and then it kind of picked up. But I was like, no, the purpose of the group that was cool was that they added you, and Kenny then took over and became in charge, and then the Bucks got more over. The Elite are now in charge of this, and they got their own little thing going on. It was cool. Like Cody, stop fronting. It wasn't that bad.
What I'm saying is he didn't say. He said it was cooler with AJ and Balor. That's what he said. And then he said that it wasn't making money with AJ and Balor, but when he joined it, it made money, but it wasn't as cool. And I disagree with that part because I got into the Bullet Club when Cody was in it, Elite was in it. You know, like that was when I started actually paying attention to New Japan a lot more.
Yeah, and going back to the Kenny and Okada match, that's like part of the reason for it. Like that's what made New Japan so cool. RVD and Sabu.
I'm gonna hold you to it. Best tag team
right now.
Yeah. What do you think? Like the GOAT? That was my curious question.
Oh, you're asking me about the Bucks, but are you asking me? So you're asking me like, who's my favorite tag team of all time?
Would you put somebody over the Young Bucks?
Yes.
Who?
I think so right now.
Of all time.
Yeah. To me, I go back and forth on who's the greatest, but to me, it's either the Road Warriors or the Dudley Boys. And I say the Dudleys based on how far they went around the world and did all of this stuff.
Okay.
But I don't think but they had those singles runs too. That's why I'm like, well, maybe it's the Road Warriors for what they did.
Road Warriors for the pop, but Dudley's for the innovation.
Yeah.
I would say. I can get behind that. But but what the Bucks have done, dude. And like you said, Matt taking that phone call from Tony Khan changed professional wrestling.
Delayed Grants kind of nailed in my mind thinking though, but the Young Bucks actually changed pro wrestling in ways that others never did. Most people won't take that leap.
And listen, maybe I'm saying that they're like the greatest tag team of all time because they wrestle the style of wrestling that I like. Some call it that flippy shit. Others will call it lucha libre for the most part, and that's what it's a hybrid of lucha libre. And that's the style of wrestling that to me changed. Everybody wrestles that style now. Even in WWE. Hate to tell you guys, WWE does the flippy shit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah, just with their own style.
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, Gliz? Appreciate you being in here. Greatest Bucks of all time. CJ, give me one team. I'm working on it. I'm working. Young Bucks broke the boundaries as an act. Yeah, without going to WWE. They got the Sting thing with them, too. Like, the never going to WWE is kind of a badge. Patterson and Briscoe, the Boogie Nights. Fabulous Rougeau's had a banger theme, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Shout out to Jimmy Hart.
Yo, he's quick with it.
Yeah.
This boy just typing teams, bro.
Yeah, Mean Street Posse.
Get about
Rodney and Pete Gas, bro. For life.
Just better than the Bucks. Like, we're putting them up there. We're putting them up on a pedestal. Come on now.
He said, just name any team. No, I do think that I gave the Bucks hell. I gave Hangman hell. And I told everybody, like, I'm just kind of over it. I want to just be done with that whole situation. I wish it worked out differently. And who knows? Like, they may unite one day and do those matches. And, let's get this paper, brother. Forget it.
So here's another question, I guess, to follow up with that. Because you added the two tag teams from two separate eras, right? You added them from the NWA era. Well, I don't know if you're talking about NWA Road Warriors or WWF Golden Era Legion of Doom, but and then you had the Dudleys from the Attitude Era. Would you put somebody from this era, a wrestler of today that is in the last decade, would you consider them a Mount Rushmore wrestler of yours? On the Mount Rushmore, would you put somebody from this era and say that they are 100% up there as the best that this business has ever offered? As far as performance, we're not talking about ticket sales. We're not talking about none of that. But in your eyes, like what you see.
I think for tag teams, like I said, I think FTR might be up there for a tag team.
Okay.
Also, as far as top acts, I think you might want to consider like Omega and Roman Reigns too. Like if we're talking all time, like you got to look at the factors. Even Okada might be on that list. There's names that I think you can make an argument for. Are we ready to make those arguments? There's a lot of good people that you're gonna. Someone's getting the boot that you're gonna be like, hey. I was yelling. Where's Malik? He was just in here, and I was just yelling the other day, and they were talking about something, and I didn't hear Bret Hart's name get mentioned. I was like, yo, Bret the Hitman Hart, Bret the Hit. Like I felt like the dude yelling in the back, Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Say his name, and they were over it. It was if Roman's in like your top 3, top 5, and I was like, what
Definitely
are we?
not.
Where's Bret Hart? Yeah, I know you. Yeah,
Definitely not.
Jesse,
I wouldn't even put Roman in my top 50, and I'm not even kidding right now. Not even in my top 50.
Clown, great point. We wouldn't have that flippy shit in America if Sabu didn't inspire. That is very true as well. You could make that argument, I think. That's my kind of shotgun Saturday night.
Thank you, Eric Bischoff, for stealing Lucha Libre and bringing it to
stealing it from ECW.
Yeah, from mainstream wrestling.
What's good, Hubs? Man, shout out to my guy Hubs.
Good,
Clash of the Podcast every Monday, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking some pro wrestling this week, man. Harlem Heat 2000. Now I can't even do that blasphemy. Not with Big T Ahmed Johnson in there. Yeah. So Kenny spitting up the blood. Fantastic segment. Like I said, me and Jesse went on a whole like 20 minutes on that. Like fantastic, bro.
It was fun.
Next up, we get Kyle Fletcher and Anthony Bowens. I don't know how you're feeling about Bowens. I'm curious on that. Fletcher gets the win here with the brainbuster. Bowens took his eye off of the ball for like a second, and Fletcher took advantage because he's that boy. How did you feel though? How do you feel about like Bowens singles run? And if you got anything on Fletcher,
I like Bowens. I was a big Acclaimed fan. I liked the Acclaim. I thought they were a fun tag team. I hate the thought of breaking up something that works, man. The Acclaim just worked to me. I don't know why we had to split that up and try to go a different way, but for me...
Tell me if you agree with this. Somebody said you got Max Caster, who doesn't try hard at all. You got Anthony Bowens, who's trying too hard, like to get his stuff over, and you're like, Caster, try harder. Like, what are you doing? Max's stuff is starting to get over, though, even though it annoys me a little bit. You're the best wrestler with the little plaque, and, I'm the best wrestler alive. It says it right here.
Well, Max Caster was the star of the Acclaim. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Like
they're Road Dogg and Billy to me. They complement each other. They do. Bowens is better in the ring.
Yes, I think I can agree with that too. So it is kind of funny that Max Caster claims to be the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
Clearly not the case. But Bowens, I'm a fan of Bowens. He really nice guy. I actually met him. Really cool. So
hell of a baseball player. Just throwing that out there.
I didn't know that actually, but that's dope. I grew up playing baseball, so.
Yeah, and I think Kyle Fletcher, amazing transformation in like the last year or two. Like I just saw his match from All Out. I think they like uploaded it for free or something, and I saw it. I was like, "Holy crap, that's Kyle Fletcher!" And I was just like, "Yo, crazy."
I don't know how I feel about Fletcher right now. He phenomenal performer for sure. Like he can wrestle.
But what's the but?
I don't know. I can't pinpoint it yet. There's just something about him that I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'd have to, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to take a minute. I've watched him on 3 pay-per-views straight, and I'm still just like, I don't know about this guy. Just one of them wrestlers that ain't sticking.
Right. Matt brought up that they're teasing a split between Bowens and Billy. Maybe this is how they reunite, and they're like, yo, we need Max. We need him. He's our goofball. 3 Live Crew. Never again do I want to hear that. Get rowdy. Move some things. Then we get Carlos Cabrera. For those who didn't know who was in the ring, I saw some people like, who is this? And I'm glad they didn't give him the what treatment. Everyone that's in here, I better not ever hear you doing the what chant. I hate that chant. Like, I want it to go away forever.
Not going to be
Carlos Cabrera's out there. He introduces Atlantis Jr. Here come FTR and Stokely. They were talking their shit, bro. Adam Copeland, his brain is fried like a plate at Sizzlers or something. He said something. I was like, damn, Stokely, come on, bro.
Boy, so like a sizzling plate at Chili's.
At Chili's, yeah. I was like, I know you've been eating, bro. Take it easy.
Yeah.
they get into a brawl. Brody King comes out, Templaro, Bandito, Adam Cole's out there. Like they had everybody out there for this segment. I thought it was good. It's going to lead to a big 10-man tag, or maybe it's the 12-man tag. I don't remember. They're doing a lot of tag matches next week. But okay segment. I was cool with this. Like I said, they're trying to get people. These are some of the luchadors you're going to see next week. Know them. This is who they are. I'm going to keep going. If you want, stop me. Lexi Nair's backstage with Brian Keith and Big Bill. Work Horsemen interrupt them, so it sounds like they may be having a match next week. Just to, they're trying to put over this Jericho storyline, like impress Chris Jericho. He's been gone for a few weeks. I don't know if the break's been enough for you. You know what? No, you're an actual guy who's like, nah, I don't mess with Chris Jericho. I don't rock with this at all. Not enough time still, or what?
Well, I haven't watched AEW television in a while. I've been just watching the pay-per-view. So keep in mind, I took a break from pro wrestling because I was just burnt out on all the garbage that they were spewing. But
what was the last pay-per-view he was on?
Chris Jericho wasn't a part of the Double or Nothing, and that was a shocker to me.
Yeah. So he's on break though.
Good.
Let him rock. So we'll see. I think he's got to be coming back soon though. Maybe
is he coming back with the Hi Guys? Do you think that's what it is, or?
Maybe he's brainstorming though for something else. Usually when Jericho goes away, he's thinking like, okay, what am I going to do next? What's my next plan? And that's good for him, I think. But like I said, don't want to lock up like Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia is going to retire and he's going to drop that OnlyFans link. Was a wild line. Yeah, definitely. Stokely was on one, bro. I love Stokely with FTR though, and FTR as heels.
I love Stokely.
So much better. So, but have you enjoyed heel FTR? Like, do you like them better as heels or faces?
I've always liked FTR as a heel. They were
Me
great.
too.
They were great in WWE. They were great in when they first came into AEW. So I'm with you.
Next up, we got Mercedes Moné eating these nasty ass dinners.
Yo, that steak looked so disgusting. I was like,
bro,
that
I don't
can't
think
be
she
real.
was eating it.
Yeah, that
I don't think she was eating it. I think it was, but I just think she was like, yeah, I'm not rocking with this. She's out there. Julia Hart goes for a moonsault, ends up getting caught with a big, small package in this one. Afterwards, she gets the roll up. Mercedes Moné attacks Toni Storm afterwards. Mina shows up and she tries to console Toni Storm. And she gets stomped for her headaches. And Mercedes is out there and she's got the upper hand in this feud. I don't know what the play is here, if like they're going to cost her a championship, but we find out afterwards. I'm jumping through things so that we can just bounce around later. Mercedes Moné is going to end up facing Zeuxis, who is the CMLL Women's Champion next week. So she could win another belt. I don't know if they're going to have her do that or if Toni Storm's going to cost her eventually, but she's everywhere, man, worldwide. I'm shocked. Like, she won another championship too right before that. I was like, where was this? Why were you doing that? So
I don't see it.
I love it, bro. She's getting everything she deserves. That's how I feel. I know everyone's like, yeah, I'm mad she's winning. I'm like, were you mad when she was losing? Because I was every week.
I was not. I was like, yes.
He's like, give me 3 more months, please, of no Jericho.
Well, Jericho will be done if you give him that long.
Yeah. Well, I think Mina's going to dethrone Mercedes of the TBS title before All In. I think they might do that too, where Timeless Toni Storm cost her a championship in a defense in between. Like, yep. We'll see, man. We'll see what goes on with that too. She's got the upper hand. Then we get Ricochet. Ricochet walking around looking like
Mr. Man. I'm tired of them like dogging out my girl Julia over here, dude. Like, why does Julia gotta always be losing? See, she's the Mercedes Moné of me right here. Like, why is this girl out here just taking pin?
You and Kenny Bomb gotta chill, bro. You and Kenny Bomb gets mad.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
he's right. Kenny's right, bro.
But can I go back to the women's tag titles? Julia Hart and Sky Blue would fit in that division. I'm just saying.
They would.
Right there. Ricochet, he's out there looking like Mr. Clean. He says he's looking for a group to put it back together. Here comes Lee Johnson and Blake Christian. And he was like, I see some Ricochet wannabes here. Ricochet's been great. I don't know if you've been feeling it.
Yeah, I've always liked Ricochet, so.
Him just being the dork, and
I don't know about his like promos and stuff, but I've always liked him as a performer. He's great.
I just think he's gotten so much better, like getting embarrassed, and he's just like, yeah, he's supposed to be the dork that nobody likes, but he thinks he's cool.
He's trying new things, and you got to give it to him, man. Like he's definitely stepping out on that platform, and he's doing well. So I've gotten look. I don't hate it.
Yeah, he leaves them hanging, so it makes me wonder. We're gonna have to wait and see who he picks for his group in the future. Then we get to what I thought was a fun trios match: Mark Briscoe, Ishii, Willow Nightingale taking on MXM and Taya Valkyrie with Johnny TV. Fun trios match. Willow gets the win for her team with a gut wrench power bomb. I saw people trying to like dog on Maximum Male Models, but I thought they did, or excuse me, MXM. I thought they did a good job in this. Like, I really like those two as a team.
No,
It
yeah,
works. Yeah. Briscoe and Ishii are always fun, and like I said, Willow was pouncing MXM. It just works. The whole
Willow's so much fun, dude, to watch.
Ty is really good too. Like, I want them to like get their respect.
Yeah.
More of this, but it's hard to, like I said, it's hard to feature them. So Taya and these
they're
guys
doing a lot more intergender wrestling as of late too, which is kind of different.
Yeah,
I like it though because it reminds me of Lucha Underground.
Yeah, we got people saying Julia Hart deserves better. Always fun when Willow's on TV. Absolutely. Statlander, we see a backstage promo. She's expressing frustration. I don't know if this is leading to her and Willow, or now Wheeler Yuta shows up. Captain fucking Planet himself, Wheeler Yuta, comes out here. He's like, hey, you should consider joining me. He says, you know, the best friends days and all that.
Yeah.
And she bumps into Marina Shafir and they have a look. And I'm like, could that be the team? She leaves and says, I'm going to team with her. So she didn't want to be my friend anymore. But I think this is going to lead to the uniting of Statlander and Willow. If they do tag titles, that's who my first champs are probably.
Okay.
Are Statlander and Willow. But I don't know if that's the plan. What is this? Bandito and Los Outrunners.
Who's
man,
Bandito?
Beast Mortals, this was a fantastic match, honestly. Like this, when the crowd was finally like quieting down, they got him right back up with Bandito. Yeah. Dude, a fall away slam into a moonsault on Beast Mortals it was amazing, bro.
Yeah, it was cool.
Amazing. Beast Mortals deserves better. That's who deserves better, folks.
See, I like Beast Mortals a little bit, but I feel like they rely on him too much. Like he's on so many shows, man, that I'm just maybe it's his outfit too. Like I cannot stand the way this fool looks. Like get a better lucha mask or something. Like out here looking like a damn fool.
Yo, listen, if y'all don't know, Beast Mortals gets the ladies, bro. When he takes those pictures, someone said he looks like Roman Reigns because I was like, hey, yo, and I see mad girls commenting underneath his pictures and stuff. I'm like, all right, Beast Mortals, go ahead, bro, do your thing. He's out here macking it up, covering his face still, keeping the gimmick alive. Like, hey, what's up? But he shows just enough of that chin. Like, yeah, you see the chin strap? I'm here. I'm out here. Love it.
Out here,
we
like
talked
Aquaman.
Nick and Matt are backstage with Hangman. This was another interesting point in the show, and they're like, "Yeah, Hager, we're real close to getting what we need to get done." And
where's Christian?
Yeah, terrible. And they start talking. He says, next time I burn down the house, I'll make sure the two of you are in it if you keep interfering in my stuff. He says, stay out of Ospreay's business and stay out of Swerve's business. And Nana's in the back with the door open.
Yeah.
The door closes, and then it cuts to the camera in the training room. Ospreay's still leaking out his head, apparently. He's like, oh. And boss, did you hear all of that? And he was like, I heard every single word. So Swerve knows there's going to be they can tell a great story with these two. I'm telling you.
Do you feel like we gotta have Hangman versus Swerve one more time? I think we do.
Yes, but I don't know when they do it. But I think Swerve's going to be the reason he wins. He's going to be the reason he wins.
Selfishly, Wrestle Dream, where it all began.
And they might. You can take your time. I wouldn't be mad if you do it all out either, you know?
Hey, all I'm saying is fuck Toronto, brother. Like,
we need some matches too.
Y'all on the East Coast get everything. Robin over here in the Pacific Northwest. Come on now.
You act like we're Chicago. Take it easy. Yeah, so I really love that segment. Definitely going to tell some stories going into it. We got Thekla and Queen Aminata. This one got a little rough at points in time.
I've never watched Thekla wrestle at all. I didn't know who she was.
I'm going to keep it a buck, bro.
It's my first time watching her.
Thekla's okay. Like that's am I being mean?
She got the look though.
Yeah, she's okay though. To me, the star, if you ask me who's the bigger star of these two, I say it's Queen Aminata. She was on point, bro, with some of these kicks and everything. She looked snug. I was like, okay. They need to find something for her to do. Yo, Rob just said she's low-key mid.
Well, like I said, this is the first match that I've ever seen her in.
Miracle said, Jesse, don't be hating on my city now.
Hey, all I'm saying, Miracle, is fuck that city, brother. Bring that over to the Pacific Northwest. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we don't get nothing. I don't want to hear about your city, brother. We get nothing. Wrestle Dream, that is all we get. WWE don't bring no shows over here. I promise you
It'll
that.
happen. It'll happen.
Raw and SmackDown.
Stomping Grounds.
Yeah, I went to that too. That was the only thing I got.
I'm sorry. 10-man tag is announced for Grand Slam. Death Riders and the Bucks versus the Ops. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland next week. Can't wait. Highlight package of Nick Wayne and the Super Juniors.
This is for Grand Slam, correct?
Yes, Grand Slam,
okay.
Mexico.
Mexico, yep.
Nick Wayne gets a Best of the Super Juniors package show, just showing how great he did in the tournament, which it was a fun tournament. Definitely go check out the finals if you haven't, and check out some of Nick Wayne's matches in it. And he's happy. This has got to be leading to the Christian heel turn. Let me ask you this. If you had to pick, when does Christian and Cope reunite? By All In or All Out? Do you think they do the FTR match there, or do you think they wait till because Canada is where they're both from?
I think they reunite at All In, but you do the match at All Out.
Okay, that's fair.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you get the moment. You get the moment of them reuniting at All Out, or All In, which makes it special, and then you book that match for All Out.
Yeah, and listen, I think one day maybe they go on a year run, and maybe the last one's going to be like, TLC one last time, and you just put some other teams who can bump in there with them, like FTR, the Bucks, Cope and Christian, and I would have said if they could have stayed on the straight and narrow, the other team could have been in there that used to be there.
Brother, I'm not having Cope jump from nothing.
He doesn't have to.
Like, don't be hanging from the belt, old man. Just do your stick and call it a night. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's all we need.
You don't need to jump off ladders anymore. But I don't think they need
Christian do that.
Nah.
I think Christian. I bet Christian could take the bump.
Father of the Year. Shout out to Christian.
Well, Christian also didn't have like a career-threatening injury. You know what I mean? So it's a little different in his situation. So Christian, yeah. I feel like Christian could take a bump if he wanted to.
We're close to the end though with these two. Like I hope people know it. Like I don't know if people are appreciating them as much as they should. And we get to the main event. The Paragon, Daniel Garcia, Don Callis family. Me and Jesse were probably hanging on by a moment here. Don Callis family get the win. Josh Alexander hits a German suplex on Roderick Strong. I was okay with this. They're trading wins back and forth, and then they announce a 12-man tag match that's going to happen for next week. And Grand Slam Mexico is now going to be 2.5 hours long, so they have a little overrun. But you know what? 2.5 over 4 all day, every day, baby. I thought this was a thumbs-up show for what it was for 4 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, looking forward to let's run down some of these shows. So next week, me and Derek will be back on Wednesdays after Dynamite for this Grand Slam Mexico show. Hopefully we will be. I don't know what time they're going to – hopefully they don't go too late because Tony Khan, I'll yell. We got Supercard of Honor coming up. If you're a Ring of Honor fan, go check it out. July 11th. It's going to be on a Friday. How dare you? All in Texas, Saturday, July 12th. It's happening. It's going down. And then after that, you got some other shows to look forward to. Forbidden Door happening in London at the O2. You got that wonderful residency for Philadelphia here happening. Make sure you check that out. You got one in Chicago happening too in July, and then you got the one afterwards in August going into September at the ECW Arena. Funny that some of these places have been booked in. WWE's going to be there right before. Hilarious. Death Before Dishonor will be there. It's all good. And like I said, Tony Khan, hook me up, bro. I need some good matches, man. Good matches for All Out. Don't forget about us. But I'm looking forward to All In. Things are looking good, man. This pay-per-view looks fan-freaking-tastic, man. Jesse, I don't know what else you want, man.
Yeah, no, All In's going to be the show, bro. It was pay-per-view of the year 2 years in a row for me, personally. But I wouldn't put it past them to run a three-peat this year. I'm excited, man. Listen, I think it's a sad situation to see a lot of fans not attending AEW fans or AEW shows. The shows have been great, especially the pay-per-views. There's no reason why these pay-per-views shouldn't be sold out to the max at this point for good professional wrestling for a good price, an affordable price.
Cheaper, bro.
Affordable entertainment that is better than entertainment 9 times out of 10 that you're going to get in the other show. You know that you're going to be leaving happy with AEW. That's the only thing. Like, go and if you've never watched AEW, the one thing I can say is just give it a chance and go see it live. Go check it. If it's in your town, go check it out. Like, you can't spare $60 to go see pro wrestling because you want to wave the flag of one company. Triple H doesn't love you, bro. I promise you. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to pay your mortgage. He's just going to suck more of that money out of your bank account. Go give other pro wrestling a chance.
Yeah, and support your local indies too, especially them.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you might see the next star on TV.
Prestige is throwing up a banger here pretty soon. They got Tony Storm coming for Prestige. And
Prestige usually has great people though. That's like a super indie. Like, if they had some TV deals, they'd be all right. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, pretty good show.
Yeah, like I said, they got some matches announced. Okada, Kenny Omega, winner takes all for the new unified championship here with the Continental and the International merging. We got Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné. It's probably the biggest women's match they could do. I'm looking forward to that. And then also announced Jon Moxley defends the world championship against Adam Hangman Page. Can Hangman bring the gold back to AEW? Jesse, I'm going to leave it up to you, my guy. Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to say?
Well, I do want to ask one question. Do you think that Hangman is the guy? Do you think he's the guy to finally end this reign? Or we can't be waiting for Darby, right? Like, listen, Darby's a Pacific Northwest boy, but he ain't that guy. Hangman has always been that guy.
I think Darby could be one of the people that interferes in this. I think you're going to get a WrestleMania 40 situation here where, like, it's going to be crazy at the end.
Bloodline rules.
Yeah, I think Darby will do something crazy where he takes out like 2 people. And it's like, whoa, how did he do that? And then you'll have Ospreay helping. You'll have this guy helping. And then I think Swerve's going to be the ultimate, like, I got you. Please do not do like, let's go for heat. And they're like,
yeah. Swerve's like, done. We're going to help out Mox tonight, baby. Yo.
Yeah.
I love me some shenanigans, bro. So I'm all for it. I hope that is the way.
Jesse loves them NWO finishes from Nitro.
Dusty finishes, baby.
What is Bret Hart doing?
Yes.
He just wrestled Hogan for 10 minutes, and he's DDT's thing.
Hook it in my veins, bro. That's what I want.
Bro, what do you mean? I saw it. I saw it.
I love it, dude. That's pro wrestling at its finest to me.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys, man, who tuned in and joined us for this. It is always appreciated, man. Big shout out to Jesse. Thank you for doing the show with me, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. This was fun.
Yeah, we'll be back. I'm sure I'll try to collab with Jesse and others.
What another sick thumb.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely.
Like, they're killing. Who is making their graphics?
They switch it up all the time. There's a bunch of people who are like, oh, this was me. You know, I'll just see random people do it on Twitter, and they're like, this was me.
Oh, this is
dope. Like, nice, bro.
I love this.
Yeah. Fantastic show. Make sure that you guys subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like if you haven't on your way out. Leave me a comment, an emoji, put something down there for me. And make sure you guys check out the Pro Wrestler Shoot. Like I said, live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, either on YouTube or Twitch. Subscribe to both so you never miss out. Jesse, I thank you. Chat, I thank you for everybody who contributed and talked to us. And for me and Jesse, we are out. And we will see you guys all on the next one.
Peace.